Khan was born in Bhopal, India, on April 1, 1936, and moved to Pakistan with his family after the traumatic 1947 split of the subcontinent, which marked the end of British colonial control. In 1960, he earned a bachelor's degree in science from Karachi University, then moved on to Berlin to study metallurgical engineering, before finishing postgraduate studies in the Netherlands and Belgium. The purchase of a plan for uranium centrifuges, which convert uranium into weapons-grade fuel for nuclear fissile material, was critical to Pakistan's nuclear program. On December 11, 2003, a set of CIA and MI6 officials had been approximately to board an unmarked aircraft in Libya after they had been surpassed by a stack of half of a dozen brown envelopes. The crew had been on the stop of a clandestine undertaking related to annoying negotiations with Libyan officials. When they opened the envelopes on board the aircraft, they determined they were given the very last piece of proof they needed. The interior had been designs for a nuclear weapon. Those designs, in addition to most of the additives for an off-the-shelf nuclear program, were furnished through Ak Khan, who has simply died elderly 85. Khan turned into one of the maximum giant figures in worldwide protection with inside the remaining half of century, his tale on the coronary heart of the conflict over the arena's maximum risky era, fought among the ones who have it and people who need it. Former CIA Director George Tenet defined Khan as a minimum as risky as Osama bin Laden, pretty a contrast, while bin Laden were at the back of the September 11 attacks. The truth, Ak Khan can be defined as one of the maximum risky guys with inside the global through Western spies, however additionally lauded as a hero in his fatherland, tells you plenty approximately now no longer simply the complexity of the person himself, however additionally how the arena. Perspectives nuclear guns. Ak Khan did now no longer come to Europe as a nuclear spy, however he might emerge as one. He turned into running with inside the Netherlands with inside the 1970s, simply as his United States of America started out a renewed pressure to construct a bomb with inside the wake of its defeat. In the 1971 war and was frightened of India's nuclear advances. Khan turned into running at a European organization concerned in constructing centrifuges to complement uranium. Enriched uranium may be used for nuclear strength or, if enriched enough, for a bomb. Khan turned into capable of certainly replica the maximum superior centrifuge designs after which go back home. He went directly to construct a clandestine community, in large part of European businessmen, who might deliver the vital additives. Often defined as the father of Pakistan's nuclear bomb, in fact he turned into certainly considered one among some of the key figures. But he cautiously cultivated his personal mythology which made him a countrywide hero, visible as having secured Pakistan's protection in opposition to the danger of India. What made Khan so giant is what else does he did. He became his community outwards from import to export, turning into a globe-trotting parent and doing offers with quite a number of international locations, lots of which the West considered rogue states. Iran's centrifuge program at Natanz, the supply of severe worldwide international relations in latest years, turned into constructed in giant component on designs and cloth first furnished through Ak Khan. At one assembly Khan's representatives essentially supplied a menu with a price listing connected from which the Iranians may want to order. Khan additionally made extra than a dozen visits to North Korea wherein the nuclear era turned into believed to were exchanged for know-how on missile era. But those offers, one of the key mysteries has usually been the quantity to which Khan turned into performing on my own or beneath the orders of his government. Particularly with the North Korean deal, all of the symptoms are the management had been now no longer simply conscious however intently concerned. Sometimes it turned into caution that Khan turned into certainly after money. It turned into now no longer so simple. As properly as running intently together along with his United States of America's management, he desired to interrupt the Western monopoly on nuclear guns. Why have to a few international locations be allowed to preserve the guns for his or her protection and now no longer others, he questioned, criticizing what he noticed as Western hypocrisy. I am now no longer a madman or a nut, he as soon as said. They dislike me and accuse me of all sorts of unsubstantiated and fabricated lies due to the fact I disturbed all the MI6 and America's CIA had began monitoring Khan. They watched his travels, intercepted his telesmartphone calls, and penetrated his network, presenting big quantities of money, at the least 1 million greenbacks in a few cases, to get individuals to come to be their sellers and betray secrets. We had been internal his residence, internal his facilities, internal his rooms, a CIA authentic could say. After the September 11, 2001 attacks, fears that terrorists should get preserve of guns of mass destruction intensified, and so did the complexity of handling Pakistan and persuading it to behave towards Khan. In March 2003, simply because the US and UK had been invading Iraq over guns of mass destruction which grew to become out now no longer to exist, Libyan Chief Colonel Gaddafi determined he had to cast off his program. That could cause the name of the game go to from the CIA and MI6 team and shortly after a public assertion of a deal. That could offer the critical leverage for Washington to push Pakistan to do so towards Khan. Khan changed into located beneath residence arrest or even compelled to make a televised confession. He could stay out his last years in an ordinary netherworld, neither unfastened nor without a doubt confined. Still lauded as a hero through the Pakistani public for bringing them the bomb, however stopped from touring or speaking to the out-of-doors world. And so the overall tale of what he did and why may also in no way be known.